Hello again, and thank you for pressing play. This is going to be of this set. This video will catch me up to the last sketches that I've made. January 27th really was not that long ago, so. And then there's some February 3rd ones, and then that'll be caught up. But I mean, I know, at least I know for my sake, there'll be more to come, whether or not I continue to share them. We'll leave that up to whatever happens. Maybe I can actually learn how to do this, more professionally, even just slightly more professionally. But yeah, I'm kind of a low-key person, so whatever. This was another weird one. This was the. I remember I was sitting on my bed, and I looked up at my ceiling, and I saw this in my mind's eye, and that eye on top of my head just popped right open. It's the second time actually that's happened to me. The first time I drew a picture of that too, but they look so similar that I just figured I would skip to this one. This one is cooler looking. The January 12th was the first time I drew a depiction of what I was trying to basically draw a picture of what I could feel on my body, and it was simultaneously an eye and an ear. The first time it happened, it started as an ear, and I heard a male chorus. It was beautiful. It was ethereal and masculine and deep. There was a lot of geometric visuals also associated. I mean, it's like they weaved in and out of each other as though they were somehow the same thing, like visual and auditory expressions that were somehow the same thing. Ever since I've seen this particular image here that we're looking at, I mean, I was already seeing eyes in the sky, as my previous videos will tell you, but it's doubled at least. And when this happened to me, I saw eyes everywhere for like 3 days. Although, here I go again talking about myself. I don't like that. I wish I had a better narrative for sharing these pictures than to just like, oh, this is what happened to me. Me. I don't like that. But right now, I don't really. I currently haven't found a better way. So, like I said before, baby steps. Now, this is not a picture, obviously, but for some reason, kind of in the same way that I feel compelled to even put pen to paper in the first place, I felt compelled to share this now instead of later. Because I got tons of other text, and I don't feel the same way about. I guess there's so much fear and confusion in every little I'm just use YouTube as an example. There's so many little YouTube bubbles around the event or the Great Awakening or the Deep State and Q, and there's all these little and like the secret space programs and all the Pizzagate stuff, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this stuff out loud because I'm gonna get in trouble or something, but there's so many little bubbles out there, and they're all, kind of interconnected, but each little bubble also has a little chunk of fear that just resists removal. We're the ones that got to do it, but it just resists removal. And the closer you get to talking about like Christian God, the worse it gets. And it's a it's a painfully sensitive subject. I know. I grew up as a Christian, and my mother is a Christian, and this stuff, she would assume that I was being communicated. She would assume that a negative entity was communicating this stuff to me because it couldn't possibly be anything else. That's her line of thought. But that's fear based. Well, I mean, I'm trying to prescribe, a letting go of fear. And we've been conditioned to think that we have to deserve to be whole, that we have to deserve to be a part of God, that it's blasphemous to suggest anything else. And I guess I wanted to show this because we're stronger than that. There's more to it than that. In my opinion, I believe that. In this first part here, I don't if God has a voice, it's probably unintelligible to a human. So I don't think I'm suggesting that God spoke to me. Though I might have some other weird stories for some other date that involve Jesus speaking to me. But that's kind of, I guess, because I believe he's here. He's here already doing something. He's already hard at work. Again, another crazy story for another time. And all I really wanted to say with this little 2 pieces of paper here is that the deception is a deception. It's a control measure. And it can fall away like all the other things we're trying to shed from us. It's okay. You're not going to burn in hell. Hell is in your head. Hell is what we create here when we refuse to do anything about our pain. I mean, I'm still, like my last video, I rewatched it before I did this just to check on it, and I left it making it seem as though I only had like a couple problems left, and I was just talking about the sex side of things. I mean, I'm sure a lot of our lives have just been utter disasters relative to what I think, were expecting when we were younger. And so many of us have had just crazy childhoods that just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And yet here we are, learning to love each other for like the first time ever. And we're stronger than we know. There's more than just this. And there's more that we can do. And setting ourselves free from those purposely made religious control measures is a big part of that. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes, because religion is a very intimate, personal thing, and you honestly can grow from like any of them. You can. And you can continue down that path. You totally can. It's totally your choice. Just consider what has a base in fear, and consider that maybe you don't need anything that has a base in fear. Now, let's move on. Okay. So I had to start a new notebook. The one I was using before was actually like a math notebook from my partner, and I was using like the upside down backwards version of it, like writing on all the pages he didn't write on. So I switched to a different notebook once that one filled up. This one, what prompted me to draw this was actually the pollen. I had an experience where I guess I felt like this person here a little bit. I never like looked up and like had a vision of a flower in my head. I just felt like this. It was the pollen. I felt like I was heavy with pollen that wanted to inseminate. I don't. It's weird. There was like a weird. There was a weird sexual energy to it. It's hard to describe. It wasn't platonic, but still, like if plants could have a sexual energy. That's what I felt. Like I could feel the heaviness, and it just wanted to like shake itself loose and get all over everything, which sounds super gross, but just trying to describe it. And it fits into a future picture as well. All right, now we're in the last set of drawings from not too long ago. I was sitting on my bed, possibly listening to a channeling on YouTube, I think. If it was that, though, I wouldn't remember which one. And I don't know, I just kind of popped into this. And it's a whole series of them. And I just, like, it's like when I drew these, I knew that the whole point was to overlay them, you know, to like see like multiple planes of Earth and us, capital U, us. And I don't know exactly what I'm seeing yet. It's a grid of us. I don't know if these are light workers or if it's all people or if it's people that are operating in a higher vibration. Whatever the case, the sun is in each of these and definitely feels like it plays a just as primary a role as Earth or any of us. This is another view. Again, the whole idea was sort of that they all kind of overlay together, and there you have her. And the surface, it's almost as though like the foliage. Okay, so let me backtrack. This down here is, I guess, likened to the core of the earth, the base of the tree. It's what simultaneously like all the tree, like think of this in a globe version. The whole thing is the tree. It multiple shoots, but like the whole thing, the whole earth is a tree. Energetically, or maybe in a different dimension. Because, and I don't want to get too much into this, but there was something about this picture that suggested that this was the realm of dragons. I I don't have nearly enough information to go more into it than that. And it's also very much connected to a sensitive idea that I am still chewing on about me personally and possible past life. But again, maybe another time. But here, the foliage is sort of like the surface of the earth, and you know, where the leaves and the flowers, I think we're both. And we both receive energy from the core of the earth and receive energy from the sun. But it's like we receive energy from the sun for the earth. Like we benefit from it, but like it's primarily for the tree. We as a part of it perform that function for the tree, for earth, for Mother Earth. At least that's what this drawing is attempting to depict. The next one is the toroidal, Taurus, the Taurus-like body of Earth, the energy part. It's probably messier than this. Well, it would be messier than this because, I mean, the electromagnetic field is is a part of this. And obviously, out in space, the Earth's electromagnetic field isn't shaped very, very perfectly. It spreads out, you know, quite a bit. Um, this was a little bit of a weird one because the suggestion here is that solar chakras, and solar, I mean solar system, are being activated in the same manner that human chakras are being activated. And this is just two of them. It would. This is another one of those things where I suspect that there's going to be people out there that have kind of hashed through this already and probably know like a ton more than I do, and maybe could have a better insight into this drawing. I just, drew what I saw, wrote down what I heard, or what I, what I felt was supposed to be that. I did not want to write down the word portal. I didn't want to lay claim to a chakra even, but I couldn't ignore what I was thinking. And again, it goes back to my ego. I don't want to be wrong, so I don't want to write something down that might be wrong. And you know what? I might be wrong, or I just misunderstood. But it's out there, so. And the final one is so basically I had a vision of each individual living within the field of Earth as we do, except in a torus form. And I guess with our current polarities, I think. Because when I saw this in my mind, they were like flipping over. Some of them were flipping, or they needed to flip. It's like a lot of people talking about Earth's pole, Earth's magnetic pole shifting. And I've been chewing on this idea that what makes it smoother, both for Earth and for humans, to go through the shift is if we go through it first at an individual level, which is what we're doing. Anyone who is, trying to connect to their higher self, and meditating, and getting, just diving into all of this stuff and learning more about it, and praying and loving and learning and growing and fixing their issues at home and with their families and relationships and jobs and career, money, all of that stuff. Like that's you shifting. So when the earth shifts, you'll be ready for it. At least that's what I felt like when I saw this. Because we're all in this energy, and this energy is about to do something. And we can either go kicking and screaming, or we can pre-prepare. And it serves as another illustration for our connection to each other. That we're all in this field together. All right, well, that's all of them for the time being. Um, I don't really have any reason not to do this again, so we'll see. All right, thank you for listening, and you know, enjoy your life. All right.